Anti-Semitism is a virus, sometimes lying dormant in the human heart, other times erupting into raging fever. From Persia to Tehran, from the Middle Ages to modern times, history bears witness to this recurring disease. But since October 7th, something unprecedented has happened. This ancient hatred has gripped the Western world with shocking speed. In just months, hatred of Jewish people has exploded on social media, university campuses, in the streets of America, Australia, and Europe, in parliaments, and tragically, even within parts of the church, all while Holocaust survivors, living witnesses of the most devastating outbreak, still walk among us. Yet Scripture declares the nations will rage against Israel, while he who sits enthroned in heaven is watching, weighing, and preparing to judge. None of this takes the Lord by surprise. From the very beginning, he bound himself to Abraham and his descendants with an everlasting covenant. In Genesis 15, God made Abraham sleep while he alone passed between the animal pieces, taking full responsibility for this covenant. Derek Kinder notes, by passing alone through the pieces, God was in effect signing both parts of the contract, binding himself unconditionally. Hebrews 6:13 confirms, because he could swear by no one greater, he swore by himself. This covenant is grounded in God's very nature, unconditional, everlasting, and irrevocable. Critics claim modern Israel isn't the biblical Israel, but listen to God's own test in Jeremiah 31. As long as the sun gives light by day and the moon and stars by night, only if these depart will Israel cease being a nation before me forever. Are the sun and moon and stars still there? Then Israel still exists as a nation before him. No other people have experienced complete loss of homeland, centuries of exile, global dispersion, yet been supernaturally gathered to their promised land. The 1948 rebirth wasn't historical accident. It's the visible outworking of God's covenant. Bible teacher Derek Prince said, the Jews are the minute hand on God's prophetic clock. What we're witnessing isn't random hatred. It's a prophetic warning. Joel 3:2 declares God will judge nations for the scattering of his people and dividing of his land. Charles Spurgeon warned, opposing nations will find themselves contending with the Lord. From high-profile podcasters to mainstream media, from university campuses to government halls, ancient hatred is being repackaged as modern activism. The Lord is calling out a righteous remnant who will stand with his covenant people amid widespread opposition. In Matthew 25, Jesus separates sheep from goats based on how nations treat his brethren, the Jewish people. Each believer, each church faces the choice. Will you stand with Israel when it costs something? The Lord is watching the nations, and he's watching his church. Israel is the Lord's timepiece, and our response to her reveals our alignment with his purposes. May we be found standing with his covenant people until Messiah returns.